Hi, I'm Laura O'Reilly, founder of Potentialize Me Yoga, and today we are going to be making kitchari. So I've already shown you everything that we need, and I've prepped everything in advance. Things might look like there's more here, and things might also look a little bit different as I've chosen some different ingredients this time. So in here we have Brussels sprouts, carrots, yellow zucchini, green zucchini. Over here we have sweet potatoes, purple yams, and then a mixture of different potatoes at the bottom there. Instead of rice today, I'm trying out millet with my lentils. And then I'm going to try some beets. Don't know what that's going to do to the color. Also got some beet greens here, and then my spices and my seeds are already mixed and ready to go. Everything's already measured. So you're going to start out by putting your pot on a good heat, probably medium, maybe 6 or 7, and then we're going to put the oil in. I've added a little bit more spices, so I've added a little bit more oil so that it can cover everything and cook it. We're going to let it warm up, and then when it warms up, we'll pop the spices in. So I can feel that the oil started to heat up now, so I'm going to throw the seeds as well as the ginger in. And I'm going to mix this up, making sure it's in the oil. And you can use ghee or coconut oil. You can use sesame oil if you prefer. Really just depends on what works best for you, or maybe what you have in the kitchen cupboard today. I don't know if you can hear the oil sort of starting to bubble. So we want to keep it on that medium heat so that it'll get warm enough to get the spices to pop, but not so hot that it burns. And I like to put a lid on there to keep the heat in and keep those spices warm so that they will, the mustard seed will start to pop. So you want to keep stirring this or just shaking it a little as it starts to heat up. Make sure it doesn't burn. You can hear the mustard seed starting to pop now. So that helps to release the flavors in. And now that it's popping, I'm going to dump the rest of my spices and powder in there. I've already mixed everything up. And again, that's why I put a little extra oil in so that we still have some liquid, some room here to help cook up the powdered stuff. So see that nice sort of bubbling and popping going on. Everything's starting to release the flavor, but it's not burning. So when you're ready, we are going to switch out to our giant pot, or the biggest pot I could find today. We're going to move all the spices into here. You could also do the spices from the big pot originally. I just find it easier to do it from the frying pan. Now we're going to add all the rest of our goodness. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting my 8 cups of water or so in. I've already measured this just so that you guys don't have to watch me try and count 8 cups. And I like to put a little bit of water in, and then I start to add everything else, because 8 cups might be an estimate depending on how much veg and stuff you've chosen to put in here. So we got the celery, the Brussels sprouts, the carrots, the zucchini. Put some more water in here. Now that we've got the water and stuff in, we can put the heat up to high. I'm going to add my 2 bay leaves, and I'm going to leave the greens. I like to leave them till a little further along so that they don't just turn to mush right away. So if we want everything to cook, we really need the water to cover everything. So I need a little bit more water here. Now we're just going to let this boil. We need the rice, or in this case the millet, and the lentils to cook up. Trying to keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't burn. Once it gets boiling, we can lower the heat, letting it simmer, and stirring it every once in a while. So that's it for now. And we'll come back in a bit when it's ready to eat. So we're back. This has been simmering for about an hour, and if you can look at it, the consistency is kind of porridge-like. A lot of stuff is no longer recognizable here, and the longer we let it simmer, the more it's going to melt down. So most recipes will tell you to let it simmer for an hour. I like to put mine on and leave it overnight, and then in the morning when I wake up, I can have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Kind of a non-fasting cleanse, really good for the digestive system. So you can scoop out a bowl for yourself. You can garnish it with some cilantro or some Italian parsley. I'm using some pea shoots today. And then you can add some salt, some pepper to taste. I've got some nice black lava salt here that I picked up on the Oregon coast. It's nice and crispy. Or another popular choice is Himalayan salt. And then I sometimes like to add a little bit of Bragg's. So we're going to taste it and see what it's like. That's good. So the millet and the beets made this much sweeter than it would be with the rice and without the beets. And more potatoes and that sort of thing. So feel free to mix it up, try different grains, try different vegetables. And I thank you for joining us here today at Potentialize Me Yoga. We hope your Kitchari helps you feel your best.